Hey everybody, welcome back to our Walking Dead reviews. This time it is The Walking Dead Season 9, Episode 10, Omega. With me as usual is Jason.
Heyo.
Remember, we are recording, Jason.
Yep, we
blew
are.
You just blew
All
everyone's
right.
ears with that sigh.
I wonder if anybody goes back to the start of our Walking Dead series, as I started school, if you can just slowly see my mind drifting away, the life leaving my body.
Oh, geez, it's almost worth it if I paid you.
Oh.
This is Chris. Okay.
This-
No, go ahead, Jason. Go ahead and complain.
Jason.
It's Jason. He's letting you know again.
Yup.
All right. Jason.
Yep.
Focus, man. Focus.
All right.
Are you focused?
Speaking of focus, let's talk about a lack of focus.
Really? Okay. Well, no. Hold on. What did you feel about this episode? What did you feel about Omega?
It was interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot more vague than The Walking Dead has come to be.
Really?
Yeah, with the sort of shifting tone of it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Where we're being fed various pieces of information, and a lot of them contradict each other. And I had to sort of take it back bit by bit. I rewatched the episode again and started, piecing together, well, here's what doesn't fit,
Okay, so are you talking about Lydia and
Yes.
and her? Okay, so you're saying this is all intentional?
No, I
No.
don't think it is.
Okay.
That's
Let's
the
do it. And of course he's talking about Lydia telling her story to Henry and Daryl about the things that had happened. Which, by the way, really cool. We get very few scenes of this, although this one's a little left for interpretation. But the early days of the apocalypse, we don't get to see that too much, but we got to see some early day stuff. But you're talking about Lydia's memory, or her repressed memories, or her reformed memories of what happened when the apocalypse first started.
Absolutely.
Okay, now go ahead.
So it's very sort of interesting, if we think about it, how malleable the minds of kids are, right? Kids will believe anything you tell them, and we definitely see that here. These early childhood memories have been shaped in some way, and we kind of see that from the beginning, right?
Mhm.
With the the little things coming back and forth, the tattoo switching arms between her mother and father, who sings the song to her, the little details that don't mix. And
Yeah.
obviously somebody has shaped this memory. This is not fact as we would see it. This is not objective, a true retelling of these events. This is either a story that she's been told enough that she believes it's fact, or it's fact that she made up herself for some reason.
And we may get the answer to that as it goes on, because this week we did get to meet Uncle Fester.
We did.
And boy, we got to meet Alpha, which was really no surprise that we'd meet her so soon. But no, I back to the topic at hand. I agree. I mean, even during the first moments that you get to see this memory, you can tell something's wrong. Things aren't playing out exactly the way. And definitely by the second time you go back to it, you're like, wait a second, something's not right here. It was an interesting way to tell things. They don't. In fact, I don't think The Walking Dead has done that before.
No.
So it was really interesting. Now you're saying though that you don't think that actually came off quite as well as they'd hoped.
Yeah, I think that they did a very good job insofar as the time constraints that they had. But I had to go back and watch it through a second time to really catch all of the details that cemented sort of what I thought was going on. Because my first watch through, I was left more confused than anything else. I was like, something's off here, but which one of these events is true? Are some of them true in the initial story? Are some of them not?
I think, in the interpretation I got was that they aren't factual in any sense. It's completely messed up. You are left to determine what you think truly happened. Just not just so much by what's wrong from one instance to the next, but also how she is now, and things that she said to Daryl and Henry.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, as far as it's kind of interesting because this is kind of an old sitcom trope where it was this person's perspective and then this person's perspective and then what really happened, and you don't get that here. You kind of get that angle where this is a screwed up memory from 9-10 years ago, from a child in a traumatized situation, one right after the other, and then after another, and after another, and after another, and who was obviously abused and traumatized. And to the scope of the abuse, we don't quite know yet. I mean, Daryl figured it out pretty quick, but if they follow the comics, there's more to come. And I don't know if they're going to or not. Quite honestly, I'm just going to say I don't know if the TV show is going to have the balls to do to Lydia what happened to Lydia. So I'm not. I don't know, but I thought it was really interesting that they did that. I was worried how they were going to approach it after last week's episode, and yet knowing what I know from the comics, I was a little worried what they were going to do. The actress really shined, though. I thought they did a really good job. In fact, seeing the different perspectives of Lydia that we've seen through both episodes now, I really have a high respect for her ability to play this role, because Lydia, as you're starting to find out, is a very complicated character.
Without a doubt. I think that's part of what really makes the show shine, is the fact that we don't really have one-dimensional characters in The Walking Dead.
No, we don't. Even though sometimes they are sometimes written that way. At least they were in the past. There would definitely be some errors to fill in some time. Kind of ironic that you bring that up, because that's the other thing. I think the worst part of the show this week was the side story with the new group and finding Luke.
Yeah, and I could have done without that.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I would have much rather had a couple cutaways to Negan dealing with coming back to Alexandria, just because I really want to see how that's playing out. I think that's besides the whispers, the most interesting thing going on right now. But it was this, and it was we've seen this time and again in the show where small group questions authority. Small group decides to go out on their own. Small group argues over the right thing to do. At the end of the day, small group falls in line.
Yeah,
and we've seen this many times.
Yeah, we definitely have. That's sort of one of, if there is a trope to The Walking Dead, that's definitely one of them.
Yeah, or small group dies, or someone in small group dies. And then they fall in line.
Yep.
But yeah, it was a lot of that, and it was interesting, and I was glad to see they acknowledged it, because just a couple episodes back it was Magna who was all like, "We gotta go, we gotta do this, we gotta do that," and this time it was like, "Hey, I understand that I almost got us kicked out of the last place, and I don't want to screw that up here." But it seemed kind of, I don't know if it necessarily made sense for her to be on the opposing view of going out on their own and stuff. Yamako, by the way. I'm quickly becoming a favorite, or she's quickly becoming a favorite of mine. She's just awesome.
Yeah,
she's just awesome. Yeah. I'm digging the whole chick with the bow, and she's got an awesome presence on the screen. Enjoying her. That might be my newest crush. As I'm usually crushing on somebody on the show, but Rosita's been around for a long time. I've been crushing on Rosita for a long time, but we hardly ever get Rosita.
That's true.
We hardly ever get Rosita. It's depressing.
Very much out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, it's not out of my mind, but I might have to replace that with Yamako there. But also interesting because Yamako was the one who, really didn't want to leave Alexandria, and now she's like, no, we got to do this. Screw the hilltop. We got to go find Luke. The whole thing just felt very contrived and dumb. Quite honestly, I mean, we had a good moment. I can't remember her name, but we had a good moment with one of them where she started getting really, really upset. Luke Kelly. Okay, thank you. It was Kelly, and she was like, "Well, Luke's the one that found me, and he went after me." And but I don't think any of that really needed to play out there, and it could have been. It felt really shoehorned in, and at the end of the day, none of it mattered, and none of it probably will.
No, definitely felt like, we have all these new cast members. We need to include them in every episode, otherwise people will forget they're here. Sort of a mentality.
Something like that. Yeah, it just didn't feel necessary. So yeah, then it's interesting. We had some. I'm definitely liking Henry a lot more now too. Henry got some better stuff to do this week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he was really starting to get on my nerves. In fact, I think I said last week we got just enough of him not to piss me off.
You did indeed.
And Henry. All right, Henry's good. I'm good. I'm good on Henry. I'm good. I think this is the first time where the teens aren't annoying on the show.
Yeah.
Well, between Lydia and Henry, those other teens we met a couple episodes back. Oh my God! Just throw them to the frickin' Whispers. You remember them?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, they're horrible. They're horrible. Daryl got some good stuff. He actually got some lines. And Tara. What do you think of Tara stepping it up?
I thought it definitely interesting that Tara decided to send her own people out to go get him.
What do you mean?
Well, that's just these people haven't been there that long.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I think she's, that's kind of that could be debated. That could be debated because, especially, you got this new threat and nobody really knows what's going on. She's like, well, just send some guards after. They've been there a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but there is one of her people is out there with him, with Luke. So
I suppose.
No, I agree with you though. I could go either way on that. I think the best part of the episode this week though was the fact that you had Henry and Daryl and Lydia. They were obviously the focus of the episode, and we really got into some good complex stuff with all of them.
Yeah.
Especially Lydia and Daryl was a. There was definitely a connection there that I wasn't expecting, but then come to find it's like, yeah, these two are pretty damaged individuals. They're finding some common ground here, but Daryl did a pretty quick 180 with Lydia.
Yeah, wasn't that interesting? Reversing roles.
I wouldn't expect him to. Yeah, I would expect him to eventually come around, but not so quickly. It's like, come on, Daryl, you. Yeah, you've been through a lot of stuff, and we know a lot of it, or we've even seen it, or we've heard it. Yeah, I don't know. He was there, and Lydia would have been happy to kill them if given a chance. Not to mention the fact that she even tried to attack Daryl.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't dispute it, but at the same time, it's a little convenient. Little convenient, but it's something that I would have liked to have seen eventually, and they did a good job of it. So, yeah, did we just run through the episode?
I think we did.
All right. Well, all right. So, what are we gonna rate this one? 1 out of 5 completely mixed up, jumbled childhood memories.
I'm gonna go with 4. 4 out of 5.
You're gonna go with 4.
Completely mixed up, jumbled childhood memories.
Yeah, ironically, I've been trying to decide here. I'm gonna go with a 4 too. I was thinking between 3.5 and 4, but I'm gonna go with a 4. This was another good one. For a slower paced, lower tone episode, which we have not had a lot of because they had to cover a lot of ground in the first half and then coming back. Oh, you know what? We mentioned it, but before we go, We only briefly mentioned Alpha.
Yeah,
Yeah, what'd you think of that and all the whispers coming up to the gate?
that was spooky. You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, didn't expect there to be that many of them.
Really?
No.
Okay. Okay. Well, I can tell you from what I saw, you haven't seen all of them.
Yeah, I'm sort of getting the impression that they're a much larger group than I gave them credit for.
I'm not going to say anything more than that, but yeah, you haven't seen all of them. There's one coming up that you're going to love. There's a whisper coming up that you're going to be like, fuck yeah. And that's all I'll say on that topic. I'm waiting for you to meet them.
Yeah, they're
You're like, what?
they're an interesting group of individuals, Alpha in particular.
Now, I don't know much about the actress who plays Alpha. In fact, I'm not even remembering the name right now. But the actress, and I really should have had this ready, she is getting a lot of accolades for past work that she's done. I can't picture her, and I made a joke about it earlier. But I mean, was I the only one who thought Uncle Fester when she was walking up to the gate?
I don't know who that is.
Fester from the Addams Family.
That came out when I was like 2.
Well, it came out even before I was born, the original
Yeah.
show. But do you remember who I'm talking about now?
No idea.
Oh. Okay. Well, so he's like, he's bald and, the Addams Family?
I vaguely.
Well, look it up. Look it up real quick. Look up Uncle Fester.
Oh my! All right,
Just do it. Just look it up real fast. Anyways,
Papa.
yeah, she, I thought it looked good. Especially having like the dirty face and mouth because they walk around with the masks on so much. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm hearing a lot of stuff about her, and I'm even trying to find it here myself. And
Oh, really? You think she looks like this guy?
a little bit. I thought a little bit.
Maybe.
Samantha Morton is the name of the actress playing Alpha.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, looking forward to it. There's definitely some depth there. This is going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Not just because of how I know it plays out in the comics, but they always put some twists in it in the show. So they've got a lot of fun stuff to play with here.
Yeah, I'm
So
very
looking forward
excited
to
to get to know these characters more. Alpha in particular, with her peculiar personality traits.
Mm-hmm.
Be interesting to see how she ended up this way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see maybe some more flashbacks too leading up to this point because they really didn't show much.
No.
Because I mean there's got to be a story because this is actually more backstory than I've ever seen for Alpha. They didn't ever show this stuff in the comics, but there's got to be a story. At what point do you decide let's just wear the skin of the dead?
That's a very it's a very interesting choice because there's a difference I think between doing what Rick did in the first season where you do it out of desperation.
Right.
And turning that into a lifestyle habit.
Exactly. Eating your food through your dead man mask. At what point? Yeah. And we get to see a little bit of that with Lydia. I mean, Alpha has been, saying, places like this aren't supposed to be around anymore. They won't last. There aren't good people around any longer. And she's, just being around the hilltop, she's like, whoa, none of that is true.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see just how deep this goes. Like, was Lydia the only person that needed to be manipulated, or are the rest of the Whispers manipulated as well?
Yep.
What is the mindset behind this?
Well, and I just totally lost my train of thought here.
That's all right. People wearing dead people's faces, and the reasons why. That didn't help?
No.
Okay.
I was thinking something, and now it's gone.
That's all right. It happens to me constantly. Okay. All right. Okay, so we're going to end there. So you gave it a 4 out of 5.
Yep.
I'm giving it a 4 out of 5. Guys, what do you think? Comment below. If you liked what we brought you, if you can give us a like and subscribe, that would be great. We will be back here for the next episode, for episode 11. But until then, Jason, any last words?
Yes, I remembered what I was gonna say. Why, did Alpha come back for Lydia?
Oh, yeah.
If she practices what she preaches and no one's really worth anything, why come back, even if it's your daughter?
It's a good question. Even Lydia didn't think she'd come back for her. She said as much.
Yep.
She just kind of figured that their group would kill Luke and what's his name and just be done with it. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I think I know the answer to that, but they change stuff. Anyways, so
Alrighty.
that's gonna do it. Jason, any last words?
Yeah, when you're drinking through your dead man mask, make sure that you don't get your straws mixed up.
That's true. That's true. I mean, straws are a very sanitary way to drink things, but you have to be especially careful with your dead man mask. So. Okay. All right, guys. That's gonna do it for us. Come on back next week for the next review. But until then, see you later.
Peace.
Hey people, thank you for tuning into this episode and taking a listen. If you like our content, if you like what you're listening to, is there anything we go over, hey, please, we would not only love to hear more from you, but it'd be great if you could throw some support. You can subscribe right below. Also, you can toss us a line anytime. That's ksongmedia@gmail.com. Of course, you can tune in for our channel anytime for movie reviews, game reviews, a lot of random wacky stuff. Who knows what you'll hear. And of course, our episode each week where we're bringing the nerdiest things we can find, dig up, and maybe not find. Maybe the stuff that just drops in our laps. But anyway, hey, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for listening. We hope to hear from you again later. Take care.